Good morning. Welcome to Working Horses with Jim. Today we are at the Draft Animal Powered Network Field Days. It is in Orange County, New York, and it's at the Orange County Farm Museum. And it's about 4 or 5 hours from our house. Anyways, I wanted to give you some snapshots of what's going on here at the Field Days. We've been here for the last few years, so if you've been with us and you know what goes on here, today I wanted to just, like I said, give a few snapshots of what's going on, and then also I just wanted to interview a few people that are regulars here and people who work with draft animals all the time, what they do with them. And I really enjoy talking to people, and I think you might enjoy meeting these people as well. So this morning is Friday, and there are intensive workshops going on right now. This one is for basics, horse basics, and there's quite a number of people here just talking about horses, what they need to know to get started with horses, how to care for horses.
If you can save money and go barefoot, great, but it's context. Are you going to be out working a vegetable patch? You can probably get away with barefoot. If you're going to be, if it's a commute down a gravel road, nice sharp gravel road, you're going to want shoes.
Are you logging in the winter on icy roads?
Yeah.
We can talk about winter shoes and maybe get some snow pads in, right?
And then, carriage work on roads, you want some Joe Tech or something on there, some traction.
Yeah.
Barefoot can go on the road, a little bit, but
short distance.
yeah, they need more support for longer distances.
Over here we have oxen basics.
Bring them together. If you got your rope halters, you can always put a small chain or something across, or tie rope together. Just a rope, you tie their halters together so they kind of can't get away from each other, and they start learning to come together. It's as simple as that. Once you start getting them leading together like that, that's when you can start incorporating the yoke. Yokes are very important and very dear to my heart. I have a lot of opinions on yokes. We'll get into that in a little bit. But as calves, keep it simple. It can be a piece of pine. Make sure that you have nice, good neck seats. We'll talk about that some more. But bows. Ivy has a little training yoke that we're going to look at that has PVC bows in it. Simple and easy to do.
I'm on my way to the logging demonstration. Just wanted to show you a little bit of the farm museum. Relics from the past here. Inside, I believe they're working on mowers and looking at them, so let's take a peek.
They're really worn up by mowers, is what made me curious.
Just as a general shop
like whoever
thing,
had it before we used to.
it's a general shop thing. When you want to hit a bolt, put the nut back on, and then hit the nut, just so that you don't just save the bolt. Where's your tighter than I thought? Yeah, you just get a stock one shot.
The great thing about this weekend is there's a lot of hands-on help. You can get right in and do things, especially on the Friday intensive.
So it's a hard decision. Should I make a perfect size hole or should I make a big floppy hole?
Right.
So we are down in the woods, and below us here is the group for the logging portion of today, and we'll go down there in a minute. There we have some horses here and some oxen.
Yep, that's the goal. But all this was there. Now all this material in the back here was intact after the first and second cut. Everybody understand that? Okay. So that's gone. Now everything back here is still intact, right? This little hash mark section here. So what he's done on his third and combined fourth cut is he's come to the danger side of the tree. It's really important, okay? The danger side of the tree, and bored here first to create this hinge, right? Back like this, instead of wedge here, right? On the danger side of the tree. To, again, provide support and to push the tree up to where he wants to go. And then he's plunged all the way in, right? Set the wedge, plunged all the way in, and now there's a section of material right about right here in the back. It's still.
If you're going down there to turn around, I'm going to get a few pictures of you in the woods. Yeah. Okay, make sure it looks good. It's a little underweight. Don't show the underweightness part of it. You know what? Senior horses are still good.
Now don't hurt that there's grass, but that horse will do it at will. However, are you going to behave today? Or are we going to be our normal problem child self? Because this horse will use his height to his advantage. I'm not going to do it too much because we're working on getting his head down, but I'll bet. So he starts doing that with me, which is just not acceptable. Head down. Now all you guys have worked with horses, what's the biggest thing that benefits good horsemanship?
Patience.
Patience. Head down. Now you just saw me put his head down without the bridle in my hand, but he knows what's coming. Head down. Good. Come on, head down. Good boy. Head down.
Thinking about it.
Come on. Good. Head down. Good. Good. Oh, I'm going to use this to my advantage. Now I will say this is kind of dangerous because he can pick me up off the ground and dislocate my shoulder at will. And for today, I'm going to leave their halters on because we're in public. That is a debate. Even Jim Gordon, he doesn't like halters on under the bridles, and I completely agree. When they're at home or in a situation where you don't have to hold them for long periods of time, take the bridle, take this halter out of the way. Get it completely. It causes fit issues, but we're in public, so somebody might have to stand there and hold this horse on the lead rope, and it could be for an hour.
Sounds stupid, but what's the carriage bolts through the side?
That's the next topic, thank you. These are just support bolts, because what happens is you'll start seeing checks. So you start seeing checks go down through it. Those carriage bolts are in there just to suck it together and hold it. Yes.
And at what point do you start making the bows?
The bows?
Yeah. Because I know that if you're making like a ladder,
yep,
with greenwood, you want the sides to be green and you want all the steps to be dried.
Right.
So that when you fit it in, the green will dry and shrink.
I do not make bows. And I'll tell you why. I tried, and I tried to make them out of ash because I didn't have any hickory. And you can bend ash. I had a stack of trash, and I had nothing on the good side. Bows are very difficult to make.
This is part of the Horse Basics workshop, and they're getting a chance to harness up, learn about it. That's what I love about this is the hands-on is so great.
We're now moving from
primary tillage, which we plow, the secondary tillage, which would be things like, this is either called a disc or a disc harrow. This is usually called a spring tooth harrow. We've got another harrow down there, which is a spike harrow. And it's all about making a better seed bed and breaking up all the clods. And so, I mean, these discs, we're going to turn them out at an angle, and they're going to cut through the ground and break it up. Generally, this is probably a 2-horse implement. I've got one that's more like a 5-foot that I use with my fjords. You start moving on to the tandem discs, and it's a lot more. You need a lot more horsepower. Maybe you're on to 3 horses. If you're on to
Here comes a team of mules.
Steer her to the right or left at this point. Hold these in another, or over your shoulder.
Hands-on driving.
That's fine, she'll figure it out. And turn right. We don't want to get too far from home. She knows G and H. And as you go right, you go left. She goes right, you go left. Stay in line. There. Step up. Once you go from there. Come up. Or, you know, kiss or whatever.
Now's not a good time.
Because they're young and experiencing new things, they want to stop and look at something else.
Sorry.
could also walk on the
It don't matter.
If you want to turn them back,
I know it's exciting.
Right.
off, step up.
Yeah.
So a little right, a little more right, because you should be a little more distracted than the other one.
So I am here with Dave Gibaldi,
Yep.
and he has a team of young mules.
Yeah.
How old are they, Dave?
We believe the one on the right is 7 or so, and then the other one is in her late teens.
Okay. So how long have you been working with mules?
About 7 years. I bought my first team knowing nothing about driving, and then got very lucky and found a gentleman local to me that had been driving mules for 35 years and took me under his wing and helped me get harness and fit harness and never looked back. So
Good for you. I know you've been instrumental in DAPNet for quite a few years now.
This is my 6th year on the board of directors, and my last year as a board member, but I plan to stay active in the events and field days committee because I really love the field days. I feel like this is the heart of the organization. This is when we actually get to see each other and get together and see all the hard work that we put in all year, you know, kind of come to life. So
Yep. And do you feel personally, since you just started out right from the beginning of your driving career with DAPNet, has it helped you a lot?
I think so. Aside from all the knowledge that I gain, you know, from just being around these people and attending the workshops and things, the passion for draft animals, like you can feel it in the air, you know, at field days.
Yep.
And there were a couple years where I didn't have, you know, I had a retired team and I wasn't working them, and you know, I'd come to field days and then I would leave here like, I'm gonna drain my bank account, sell my car, and I have to get another team this year. But I didn't, and I waited, and you know, I'm glad I made that choice to get them when I did. But you know, the motivation that I get from coming to field days is unbelievable. So you know, it really reignites the fire. If it starts to peter out a little bit, you know, it kicks that flame back up. So.
And so what do you do with your mules?
A little bit of everything. I do a little bit of work in the woods and some, you know, farming and homesteading type things. Pretty much whatever I can do, I like to do. Some days it's just going for a ride down the road if I don't have time to get anything else done. And you know, this year I planted corn with them and did a little cultivating and stuff and plowing, and you know, then I'm also part of the Hudson Valley Draft Horse Association, so we got to run a corn binder last weekend at our corn harvest, and you know, anything I can do with them I want to do. So
what made you decide to get mules?
So I actually had mini donkeys for a number of years, and I just liked
donkeys.
And I just liked the donkey part of them, and I had some riding horses for a little while, and I just couldn't get along well with them, but I got along really well with the donkeys. So I said I probably would get along with mules, and I got lucky that I got a good pair to start out with, you know. But I really enjoyed working with them, and I've driven horses a little bit, but I just don't know if I could get along with having my own pair of horses. Me and the mules get along well.
What do you think is the difference between a horse and a mule? In your estimation?
Attitude and personality, I feel like. I just think the mule's personalities kind of mesh with mine a little bit better. I don't know if, you know, whether it's the stubbornness or the determination, whatever you want to call it, to get the job done. You know, I've been lucky with good mules. I would never want a bad mule, because I don't know if you could fix a bad mule like some people can fix not so good horses, but not so good mules are really hard to fix. So I'm not in the business of training them. I'm in the business of trying to find good ones and,
there you go.
and work with them. And you know, the other thing that I like doing with them is teaching other people how to drive, you know, because I started this much later in life. I didn't grow up doing it. I was in my 30s when I bought my first pair of mules, and you know, I just feel like if I can get younger people excited about it earlier, that's how this culture is gonna continue, you know.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, thank you for spending some time talking to me.
I think I'll be fine.
Okay.
I'll be back down.
All right.
This horse is related to our horses. It's Mary.
Girl.
And Julia is driving.
Yep. There you go. Yeah. Keep it going.
Okay, Wayne, get up. Come on, get up. Get up,
So, can I ask you your name?
My name is Anna Knapp Peck, and this is Sam. He's an Ashire ox. He is 8 years old. He's a single, and I work him with a 3-pad collar and harness. So he doesn't wear a traditional yoke.
Oh, interesting.
And that's our other Ashire Otis, and he has a training harness. It's a prototype from an Amish harness maker, and eventually he'll grow into a harness system like this.
I'm just going to take a little quick show here of his harness, because that is not traditional at all. Interesting. So why do you prefer this?
The harness?
Yeah, the harness. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, oxen and harness. How about that?
I grew up on a dairy farm, and I showed cows, and cows are incredibly intelligent, and I enjoy training. And the oxen give you an unlimited potential for training. And I like the way they fit into like a farm setting, and I really like spending time with them in the woods. It's very peaceful. So that's how I do oxen. We used to have teams, and I showed them in 4-H in New England for the Eastern States qualifiers. But after my first and last team died, I had a second team, and one of them didn't work out, and I had the single, and I didn't want to lose both of them. So I ended up getting this harness from a friend who died, and he had it made but didn't use it. And I took it and tried it, and I was really in love with the whole harnessing system. I find it kinder and more efficient than single yokes. So I used it, and then I had another one made, and then people seemed to be interested. And I traveled and I talked about it, and so I found an Amish harness maker that makes them, and you can send him your details and he'll make you a harness. So there's a supplier, because it's nice to have something, but it's no good to other people if you can't source it. So we're trying to find a manufacturer.
So can you use this double then or not?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can.
So it took me until last year actually to figure out how that would work, but there is a guy in Ireland who has oxen over there, and he solved the problem for me. If you come over here, there's a strap. They run a strap off this. I don't have a ring. He has a ring on his, and he runs a strap off the ring to a neck yoke.
Oh, okay.
So you can hook them to the neck yoke like you would a team of horses, but there's a strap that comes down to like a point, and you can,
we'll finish the conversation in a second.
Okay, I'm just gonna unload this log.
Yep.
I'm just working with these guys.
Yeah, but it's wooden. Not flat on the
Oops.
You're mostly barrier.
I forget where we were. How to put them together as a team, and
so there's a strap that will come off the ring on the harness, and it lowers It hangs about where the collar would hang on a horse, like the point, and you can hook a neck yoke to it. So you can just modify what I have a little bit, and you can hook up to horse equipment, because you can hook to the eveners in the back with the tugs, and you can hook onto that neck yoke with a strap.
Great.
So you could use a team of cattle on most horse-drawn equipment. I haven't done it, but it's possible.
There you go. Thank you.
You're welcome. Good boy. Come on. Are we stuck? Good boy.
I've got chain. There's a chain right here. Is it Brent or Brett? Brett Bruno. Yep. This is Brett Bruno from
Mohawk, New York.
There you go, Mohawk, New York, with this Belgian's here to help us with this. So, if you have questions, I'm sure he'll be happy to answer them too.
Unless you can put that pin right there, maybe. But then she's going to be tight, though. That's the problem.
No. Oh, yeah.
What's going straight up there? I'll go straight up the hill right here. Where's the mill?
Right here is called a PV. And so this is similar to another tool called a cant hook, which is more of a sawmill tool. Once you take a piece of timber and you saw it into something on a sawmill, even if it's just two-sided, it becomes a cant.
Unless we go right here.
Cant hook would be similar to a railroad tie.
You know what I mean?
The cant hook is different. It doesn't have a point on the end right here. The PV's got a point, and the reason it's a point to a PV is you want to be able to, at times like this log for instance, instead of rolling it with the can with the hook and the handle like this, you may at times want to get underneath and pry like this, particularly if the logs are in a stack, particularly in loading the scoop, particularly on a landing. If you kind of can't roll it, you make it pry it with the point. That's what you can also basically like stick it into ground. Laying it on the ground and get smashed by
back.
Not necessarily. That's the whole point of the tool, that it gives you that.
Do you know where this road goes? No, that's why I was like, I'll just see him over.
Get it.
It's lunchtime. Everybody's getting a ride back to the tent where we're going to eat lunch from the woods.
Tap that off one on the nose and cut that nigh one off. Use your body. Come around quick. Come around quick. There you go.
Come up.
That's the hardest part for new people. Is the enter. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I can't. That is miserable. That really is miserable.
Step away from him. There you go. Give him a place to go.
Yeah, I can understand why you put raisin nozzle on.
There you go. Good job.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
That's what you got feeling in your ball sack.
Good job. Come around quick. Touch that off one. There you go. There you go. Good. He's coming. Bring him around. There you go. Good. There you go.
Step up. Yeah, they're doing good.
Now, see the difference in presence? A little more louder, a little more stern.
He's still walking too.
Yeah.
Yeah, well.
Well, what?
Yeah.
Okay, you're going too far back. Go to the side. Let him catch up to you. You almost want to come side back. Side back. Right. Good job.
Back. Yeah. Back.
Pester them. You got to pester them. They're old.
Back.
There you go. Good. Presence is a lot of it. Yeah. And I can't stress enough. That's what you would get with a mature team. So anybody else wants to try, come on up. Yes, please. We're going to get these guys out, and you're going to see a big difference. They're going to be in your back pocket because they're young and they're going to be listening. So, really quick responses.
Semi-comment in French.
But you know what? That's funny because he says he wants to do it in French. You're putting your body in the right place and you're sticking in the right place. They would have done it. They would have been fine.
Now the younger team, are they going to be a lot quicker?
How young they are, how excited they are, responsive. It is part of the breed, yes. They will step on. Knock on wood, I have not had a runaway with them yet. So we have today. See how she's cutting that nine one off? She's kind of in front, smacking the other one on the nose if he's not coming around, but she's also walking forward. So you're cutting them off, but walking forward as well.
There's so much more going on with the team compared to the
There is, but there is and there isn't. Because if you drive your nine one, your off one will fall.
Right.
But sometimes you have to initiate your off one.
Right. Well, especially
for your
for
nine one to
turning.
drive. Yes.
So, this has two holes, and you can also slide it up and down in this track. So this is in the upper hole, and it's almost as far down as it'll go. I actually, when I had this thing in the third hole, sometimes I was even customizing these for a third hole so I could drop this down further to mow higher. I did that for like 20 years. This summer, just for the fun of it, I decided I think I'm mowing a little too high. And the only real drawback, I like what it does to the plants. There were two drawbacks. One is, I've been having a hard time making second cutting on my farm for years because the mower's mowed so little that there's nothing left to rake the bed. And I've had that problem for a long, long time, and it gets really frustrating. My wife loves second cutting, so I gotta make some. So, we were just talking about, you know, how to hook horses that haven't been hooked before, how to hook horses that haven't mowed before. We don't have a lot of great places to mow today. The fact that we've just rebuilt this mower, you know, and this little mowing that you see right here is testament to the fact that the thing's working pretty good. Short, green, and wet, and thick, those are the hardest things to mow. And that's pretty much what we have today, is short, green, wet, and thick. So the mower's working pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. I'm gonna put that back down a little bit, like that. And we also talked about that when you first start mowing, opening a field, you have fences or hedgerows, you go around, counterclockwise. You go this way once or twice to open the field up, get your cutter bar out near the fence. Then you turn around and go the other way. All the rest of the mowing is done going clockwise, and that's because the mower was made to go this way. The mower was made to go clockwise and turn right. Everything about the machine was laid out to go right.
This might be a stupid and obvious question. What is the pattern? So you go counterclockwise once or twice around, and then are you going long ways, turning, coming back? Like, what is the pattern?
Well, no. I mean, I understand the question, but like, so if it's a square, mow in a square, mow all four sides. If it's a rectangle, mow all four sides. But I like doing rectangles because then you have long sides and short sides.
Yeah.
And as soon as I can, I stop mowing the short sides. And that's why I just use this pedal. I'm mowing, and then when I get to the end, I just pick this up. I don't even disengage the mower. I pick that up, I roll around the end in a circle, and then I put it back down, and then I keep mowing.
Okay.
First, so the mower's out of gear, which is good.
Okay.
And we're going to pull this like this, and go like that, and pull that up. Now what we're going to do is we're going to swing them so they're facing this way and standing there. So there's no mowing. It's just like driving a cart. Just like driving a cart.
Come, G.
That's right.
Come, G.
They're a little forward, so
Up. Step up. Step up.
you don't want to go forward. You want to swing.
All right. Come, G.
Make them don't step them over. Step them over. And stop right there. So to gain the precision takes a lot of practice. A lot of practice to gain the precision. We're going to start from right here. Normally, if we had a lot of hay here, this would be a plug-in situation. But because there's no grass right there, we don't have too much of a plug-in situation. We're going to pull this lever, put your foot on this pedal and pull this lever. Pop that down. That's good. Not all the way up. And then put your foot back on this pedal and just gently hold up for a second. And then you're going to kiss and go.
Can't escape you. That's all right.
And then he does rodeo. I had to go back and get.
Here's the logging crew from this morning, and now we're into the afternoon. Opening ceremonies, day 2.
Hey, anybody doing the beginner grooming and harnessing? My camp is on between the Memorial Building and the camping.
So I am here this morning with Jacob Sherlock, and he was up at our house some time ago, so we got to meet him there, and now he has a team of horses. And I was just standing next to them, and I cannot believe how much bigger they are than our horses. So hi Jacob, how are you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. So you're kind of new into the horse world, like You've had them for about a year now?
Just not quite a year and a half yet.
Yep. So how are you feeling about everything? Like, do you feel comfortable with them?
I do now, yes. It took probably a year to get really comfortable with these guys. We did a lot of groundwork to get them to get them listening to me and me listening to them, paying attention to them. But we've been to downtown Buffalo with them for wagon rides and a few other things. So yeah, they're doing really well.
Yeah. So what would you say has been one of the biggest challenges of getting horses and getting set up with them?
So when I started, I didn't even have a barn. I actually had to build an entire barn, build their stalls, hay storage, all that. So that was interesting. We actually laid the concrete in the building ourselves, mixed it and laid it. But the biggest thing is really learning horses. I've never really lived with horses, so there's a lot of little things that when you don't own them and don't live with them, you learn quickly. We actually just had an incident with this horse here and the dog. So
yeah, you were telling me about that.
Because the dog got too close to the horse while it was eating. So, and that's what I didn't think he'd ever do it. So there's a lot of little things. The other one tried colicking on me twice in January, and I'd never experienced a colic before, so it's a lot of learning horsemanship that you never knew.
Yep. And how do you feel about like a horse community? Are you part of a horse community, or do you have a mentor or anything?
So I'm actually now the vice president of the Collins Draft Horse Club.
Wow.
And we actually have probably 40 members and 10 teams or so. So I get a lot of people who can answer questions. The neighbor of mine and very close friend, she's had horses in her barn since 1970. So I can always call her up and say, hey, what's this doing? Like, I'd only had him probably 2 weeks and his frog sloughed off, which I'd never seen before. She's like, nah, no big deal. It's fine. So I have a lot of people who can answer questions and how do I do this and how do I do that. So and this organization is similar, right? They're exactly the same. Willing to help. What do you need? What do you got to do? So.
Yep. Very helpful. And what do you think is one of the best things about having horses that you have enjoyed the most?
So my interaction with the public, because we do a lot of public wagon rides. Last year I probably gave 2,000 people wagon rides volunteer. So my interaction with the public is awesome. We do the Erie County Fair with the horses, and this year they had 1.2 million people come through.
Wow.
And my horses were there 3 days, so they got a lot of people poking their nose and touching and petting, and because of their size, this guy being 6 foot tall at the shoulder and just over a ton, it gets a lot of wows and interest. And
yeah, he's very tall.
We actually got a lot of people who have never even won't touch a dog and got them to pet the horses. So
well, that's great.
A lot of positive. So.
What do you think is needed to stick to it?
Patience. If you don't have patience, don't do horses. If you want to learn patience, they'll teach you real quick. This guy here, he loves everybody, and he's a fidget. Yesterday he was picking up the car jacks off the trailer and swinging them around like it was nothing. That's just his personality. Patience. Because if they do something wrong, they're not doing it to be mean, they're just doing it because they're horses. And you can't take it as offense. So
well, I'll let you get going. I hear you're going to the woods this morning, so maybe we'll see you there.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Thank you.
While thinking, move while seeing, and wait for her to come down from this energy she has.
Yeah, I've never really had the opportunity to work much with her.
Of course, like you've been saying, this is such a different environment that you've worked in before, and so this is perhaps a side of where you haven't had to, work with this.
Baby steps. I think recognizing it, like recognizing that.
Come off, you want to put it solid grease.
All right.
Yeah, it's kind of rocky. One, and come back on the opposite other side. That was the horn. Yep. Air brakes.
G, Blake. G. Up. Step up. Okay. All right, step up.
Step in. Whoa.
You gonna take that? Yeah. Okay.
Brenda, do you want to go anywhere?
Do I want to go anywhere?
This is a private go-kart.
Oh.
And we take people special places.
Oh.
Wherever they want to go.
Yeah.
But if you're where you want to be, it's okay.
I am for a few minutes, but I will want to go somewhere.
I really liked your bag and your flannel shirt and your whole outfit. Oh, my God.
Thank you.
It just matches.
Very well coordinated.
It wasn't meant to be, but you guys like each other. That's good.
Oh, yeah.
So this is a Brabant, right?
Yep.
And what do you have to tell me about Brabants? I'm probably not saying it right. Did you say Brabant or Brabant?
Either ways.
Okay.
Normal.
Huh?
Brabant.
Yeah, she's French.
That's what you say?
Brabant, yeah.
No. No? I mean, I can't say it that way.
Oh,
it sounds lovely.
But that is where they come from, Belgium, right? Or France.
Belgium, the Netherlands.
He knows better.
Oh, okay.
I just know how to say it.
Yeah. Yep. So.
Yeah, there's some different lines like all throughout Europe that are kind of similar, but mostly coming from Belgium and the Netherlands.
So do you own more than one?
I own 4, I guess now.
4?
So I have a stallion, 2 mares, and a baby.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yep.
No,
So why do you prefer them, or what do you love about them?
Their just calm demeanor is amazing, and like they're so willing to work. They're hard workers, and they're just beautiful horses.
Yeah.
Couldn't ask for anything more in a package like that.
And that is so true. It is so true.
Sweetheart.
Yes. There are. You got to be
Very nice. Thanks for letting me put you on the spot.
No problem.
Can I ask you your name?
I'm Austin.
Austin. Hi, I'm Brenda.
It's nice to meet you, Brenda.
Nice to meet you.
Horse building is a very fun skill to have. There's not many people who do it anymore, so, unfortunately.
And that's something that you learned at one of the apprenticeships?
I learned it at the first apprenticeship, and then when I was in horseshoeing school, we made handmade bar shoes all the time. And then the next 2, we traveled up to like the Annapolis Valley and Port Royal and visited where my early North American ancestors immigrated to. So my family came from like the La Perche, Normandy area of France and moved to Acadia and settled New France. So it was actually, my daughter Peregrine is named after my earliest ancestor. So her middle name is Renee, and Renee Landry moved to Port Royal, Nova Scotia in 1638. So That was my earliest ancestor.
Sasha, come
Un beau petit poney, ça?
Ouais, c'est cute, hein?
Ah, c'est cute au bout.
Tom.
Are these your, is this your oxen?
Yep.
Awesome. I better let you tend to business.
Come on.
What's his name?
Tony.
Tony?
Tony.
He knows his name.
You don't look Italian.
We're going up to the field right now, so.
It's like I'll take pats and instead of having to walk and pull something.
Want me to put some weight on that cart? See if you can handle it.
See if you can stand up.
Come up.
Good job, Jeff. That's it.
Come.
Yeah, and if you have this they might ask you. I think it's really important.
They might not do it the same way I do. And I was always trained, heaven forbid, but if something happened to me and I needed someone to take my dogs, I want my dogs to be so good with anything and everything that a stranger may have to provide, and it happenstance I can't provide it anymore.
Well, we hope you enjoyed this video. We sure had a fun time, and I have much more footage to come, so there will be 2 more videos coming up in the near future to share with you all the great things that happened at the Draft Animal Powered Network Field Days 2024. Bye.